What it do, what it does, what it be like, people, you already know who it is. This is your boy DJ Baby Boy, and yes, you're tuned in to another episode of Salute the Grind. And right now, we got the one and only Brian A. Street, Master Social Work. Man, introduce yourself to the people, let them know what's happening.
And first and foremost, you can call me B. My boys, they call me B Street. Man, I'm just a guy that came from South Mississippi. I left, I saw the world a little bit, and I realized there's so much here and so much that I can give to hang out what we have here. And I've been on the grind for the last, I'll say about 6-7 years, tapping into our community, tapping into communities across the nation, really, helping people realize that the life you see before you started up here. So I do a whole lot of cognitive behavioral coaching in whatever space I'm in, be it getting into the universities, high schools, be it in front of entrepreneurs, in front of local businesses, helping people realize that you have so much more if you change how you perceive what you got right now and just take massive advantage of it. Really focus in the financial education space and the mental health space, and creating entrepreneurs, man. I mean, that's a small nutshell. I got my hand on a lot of plates, but all of them make sense to one another. And I hope to be able to convey that message with some of what we speak on today.
That's what's up, man. So with all the different things that you got going on, did that inspire you to do your legacy begins now, so you could kind of put it into a box for it to make sense?
Well, when I came back to Mississippi, I knew I wanted to create something for that next generation. So for those teenagers about to navigate into adulthood, but they don't really have the guidance to realize that there's things you can do to leave your impact on the world. There's things you can do to be remembered in a positive light. Because so many people feel like what we currently have around us is what we're doomed to have for the rest of our life. You don't realize that you can have so much more. So I help connect people to the right information, to the right people, so that they can start living their life of purpose, because your legacy begins now. No matter what happened before, no matter what your last name used to be known for, you can change that because your legacy begins now.
That's what's up, man. So that's basically what inspired the business. Is it, I guess you could say, the case or the condition that we're in as a people? Did that inspire it? Or?
Yeah, really, because there's not enough examples of excellence in our community. And I wanted to be able to bring together various different types of businesses, various different types of industries, really, to go into helping inspire the next generation. So letting them realize that if you create something that's your own, that can help sustain not only you, but also your kids in the future. But understand that it's about the information. We hear a lot of times, knowledge is power, knowledge is power. I mean, there's some merit to that, but knowledge is only potential power. So one of the things that I aim to do is go out, okay, you got the knowledge, but how are we going to put it to action? Right. That's kind of where I mean, let's put it to action and stop just talking about it.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Applied knowledge is the thing that makes a difference. You know what I'm saying? So for somebody to call up on you, like they say, okay, they want to talk to a youth group or whatever, what's the most effective way do you see to approach impacting the youth?
Well, first and foremost, you know where their head is, where their attention is, so you can make reference to some of those areas because that's what's going to capture their attention. But at the same time, let's say that group is part of an organization or part of a school or whatever it may be. Anytime I go in to speak at a school, I always ask beforehand, what are some of the problems that you're seeing with your students? What are some of the things that they're most excited about right now? What are some of the areas that you feel like your staff hasn't been able to address that I can maybe touch on? So it's all about going in, understanding what's the problem with that demographic, and not going in as the expert thinking that you have the tools when you don't even know what you're working on. So really just making sure you know what the issues are before you even go in and talk to them.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. So what's some of the examples of what changes that you've seen happen when you work with some of the youth?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's important, and I'm sure you would agree, when we get to a certain level of influence and people see us in a certain light of excellence, of leadership, it's always important to bring ourselves back down to where we started and help individuals understand and relate to the fact that I'm not extraordinary. I'm no better than you are. But I took a I took the initiative to make a decision once upon a time that I was gonna live a different way. And by living a different way consistently over time, it got me to where I am. So one of the things I often go into these schools and speak on, you'll read off my credentials. Master's of Social Work. He holds 2 bachelor's degrees, one in psychology, one in Spanish. So he's bilingual. He's got 2 years of doctoral studies from LSU. Like, they read off all these credentials, all these degrees. So I always make sure to go back. All that sound good, but I'm a college flunky. I got kicked out after 2.5 years. My grades dropped because I wasn't focused, because I didn't know exactly what I wanted out of life, because I was around the wrong type of people. So I helped them realize it doesn't matter where you are right now. You just make a decision that you want to change, and you put yourself around the right type of people, and that change will start to happen. But so many people fall into a bad space and they just focus on that bad. Man, I hate my life because of this. Today sucks because of that, this, that, and the third. Not realizing you can start and choose today to turn around everything. But it's just got to be a decision, and then consistency following that decision. So when I go in, I really help individuals. I like to take questions, and I like to let them engage in the talk, not just me speaking the whole time. So they can ask me certain questions so I can relate to them. I remember when I was your age, I had such and such dude did the same thing to me. I had a teacher to me the same way. But you know what I did? I took that message that he told me that I wasn't going to accomplish. I made sure that I put some goals. I set some goals to make sure that what he said about me wasn't going to become me. So really relating to them, understanding where they currently are, and then giving them just little principles here and there to show them how they can get from where they are to where it is that they want to get to.
Yeah. So that's really you investing some time and some communication to them, you know what I mean, that they might not be getting at the crib, you know what I mean? So I can feel that as well, man. As far as the vision that you have going on and trying to find people, basically you find the support, other people that have the same type of mindset. Tell the people about the difficulty or the challenges that come with that.
All right. So with us living here in Mississippi, if you know anything about statistics and just numbers in general, typically the positive things across this nation, we rank at the bottom of the barrel. The negative things across the nation, we rank at the top. So I have to literally get myself out of Mississippi usually to become that someone in a certain area so that people here will eventually start to listen. So one thing that I really want the listeners to hear is, regardless of what you're doing in life, friends and family typically aren't going to start to support you till they see strangers celebrating you. Think about that one. A lot of times you start a new business, a new venture, you got some products and services, you're going to go and try and get it to friends and family first. But a lot of times they ain't gonna want to support because they know you based off of who you were up until who you are today. And if they weren't trying to roll with you from who you were up until who you are today, they probably not about trying to roll with you with this new venture. So what you have to do, which I had to do, go to Houston, Texas, be filmed on the stage. Go to New York and be filmed speaking. Go to Miami and be filmed speaking, working with prominent individuals. Go to all these top name places, be on the stage, rub shoulders with the people they already know to be successful. And then it's like, oh man, so I know Brian was talking about such. Is that what he talked? Then you got their attention. So sometimes you got to change your environment, even temporarily, and then come back and people will take you more seriously. And I'll give you a prime example. I left Mississippi in 2012, right after I graduated with my bachelor's degrees. I left and I went to Miami. I was out there almost 3 years. While I was out there, I was forced to level up. Because down there, they're about the looks, they're about their money. You got to look good. You got to have bread. So I had to up my game to kind of fit in, but also it helped me realize, you know what? Who I'm becoming down here, my people back home need this. So that's why I came back and started putting together programs and helping younger individuals realize, you know what? I can go from where I am to where I want to be, but I have to take some of those steps that Mr. Brian over talking about. And I've seen some of the mentees that I've had. One of them is in Ghana, Africa right now. And he would always tell me, B, man, I want to be just like you. Because he used to watch me and follow me speaking. And I would tell him, don't be me. Like, I want to be me. Be you, but with my confidence level. Get your confidence, get your competence, get your skill set up to where I feel my skill set is in the things that I do. And you're going to be the best version of you. And once he took that in, he took off. And he's doing some huge, some great things. He was able to encapsulate some of the accolades that I did when I was in that same academic program. He shot me a message, student of the year, this little certificate. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be surprised? Like, that's what I was expecting out of you. And that's typically what happens when you start following certain types of individuals, you become more like them. So I ask you, whoever's listening, whoever's watching, who are you following? Would you trade places with them if you have the opportunity to? You want to try and follow more people. And when I say follow, I'm not talking about your traditional social media follow. I'm talking about the people that you surround yourself with, that you go places with, that you listen to and internalize what they say. Who are you surrounding yourself with? The more of those you're willing to trade places with, the quicker you're going to be able to get to where they are, because like attracts like.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So all these different speaking engagements that you went to, what does your typical audience look like?
Well, my preferred audience is African American, Hispanic, so someone within that minority, disenfranchised community that has all of these disparities against them when it comes to getting to a place of affluence in life. So I go for that demographic, and I go for, typically, I like to keep the junior, senior in high school, or that first or second year of college, because that's right when they're making that transition from being pretty much a kid to becoming an adult. So I like to catch them before they completely make that transition, because that's usually when they kind of set into who they're going to become. So it's good to get them early. I got a lot of partnerships where I go in for younger ages, but me specifically, I love to go in for the junior, senior in high school, or the first couple of years in college.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's definitely critical time, man. You give them a lot of game during that time. So with your businesses and everything that you got going on, what is your goal?
The goal, really, the goal is to see more individuals that look like me, look like yourself, that exit high school financially educated, understanding what credit is, understanding how to build a high yield savings account, understanding how to get into the investment space. So those three areas, but initially learning how to make money. And learn how to make money where you ain't got to look over your shoulder hoping somebody ain't chasing you. So one of the mantras, I guess you would say, that I kind of live by in the financial education space, is understanding the three different relationships with money. So that's learning how to earn, learning how to save, and then learning how to invest. So many of us, we learn how to earn one way or another. Some of us learn how to save, but we don't understand that when inflation is the way that it is, a lot of times we're losing money by saving if we don't have it in a high yield savings account. And then number three, learning how to invest. And I've recently been able to get into a couple of different real estate investment projects. Calico Station downtown, I'm one of the managing partners in that investment project. But most of us don't know anything about investing, or we're too skeptical to get into the investment space. But that's how true wealth is created and passed down, is getting into the investment space. So helping make sure people are financially educated, transition to that next stage in life, and then make sure that their mind is in the right place to believe that they can go out and get what they want, go out and become what they truly want to become, but understand that it ain't gonna be easy. It's not going to be, a simple process. You have to understand delayed gratification. So many people today, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. And if they can't see that they're getting it now, they don't want it. So understand delayed gratification, temporary sacrifice, and being off balance on purpose. A lot of times people say you need to have balance in life, balance in life, balance in life. Having balance in life is like being the perfect Christian. So you're never going to be perfect, but you should have a pursuit to get to perfection. But when you're trying to do something great, you got to focus on that one specific area intentionally and intensely for a specific period of time before you can give more balance to other areas of your life. So temporarily being off balance on purpose, temporary sacrifice, understanding delayed gratification, and really just realizing that everything starts up here, like I mentioned earlier. If you can truly believe that something can be yours, and it makes logical sense when it comes to the laws of science, so on and so forth, it's only a matter of time that you connect yourself to the right people, put yourself in the right spaces so it becomes yours. A lot of people call it the law of attraction, and they throw a lot of fluff behind it, but there's science behind it. Because what starts in your mind eventually becomes an emotion. And when you feel a certain way about something, that starts to elicit a certain behavior. And once you behave a certain way for a certain amount of time, those actions generate what comes to you, what manifests in your existence. So that's kind of where I focus, and really depending on where I'm speaking, what the specific needs are, I laser in on one of those areas a little bit more than another. But eventually or ultimately, I came from a mobile home where the toilet was down there falling through the floor. And I can remember putting a stick between the toilet bowl and the cabinet to keep it from falling through the floor. Then I was able to move and live in one of the greatest cities in the world, Miami, Florida. Be a couple minutes away from the beach, out on the beach, using it as my office. Just living some of the things that I only saw in movies. And then I had a choice. And this is what I want people to know, and you can definitely attest to when it comes to entrepreneurship. You want to get to where you're your own owner. You want to get to where everything that you do can fall underneath your own personal brand. But understand, it ain't gonna be easy. You see us out here on these yachts, you see us driving exotic cars and living the life, but it's not easy. It's not gonna come overnight, and that's not the every single day grind. What you don't see most of the time is when we up late at night and the head is bobbing and we know I gotta finish this task. You don't see a lot of those things. You want to get yourself a mentor that can give you the real and let you know you see the results online, but the work is typically what you don't see. But when you're willing to do the work, eventually you get the results.
That's what it is, brother. You're giving them the game, man. So for people to contact you for your services, man, how do they contact you or book you?
You can hit me up. Your Legacy Begins Now. If you Google Your Legacy Begins Now, all my stuff will pop up. That's my website, Your Legacy Begins Now. Instagram, Your Legacy Begins Now. LinkedIn, whatever space you're in, just look up that handle. You'll find me. Email address, bstreet@yourlegacybegins.now. And I'm an open book. I got a lot of things going on. I've been able to put my hand in a lot of different types of projects. So I don't hold back game, because ultimately, like I mentioned earlier, the knowledge is just part of it. I can give you all the game in the world, but if you ain't gonna go to work, then it ain't gonna serve you. Right. So hit me up. I do a lot of free sessions of various business, finance, relationship on a monthly basis. So I give the game away for free on my network. We usually have events going on all over, but Your Legacy Begins Now. You'll find me pretty much everywhere. And like I said, don't hesitate to reach out.
That's what it is, bro. Well, hey, about to wrap up the interview, man. It's been full of game, man. Any shout outs or anything like that you want to give to anybody?
No major shout outs right now, but I have a project that I'm working on. Financial education for teens and their parents. So if you're a parent out here and you got a teenager and you really want to make sure they prepare when they get ready to get out into that next stage of life, or you yourself, you want to step up your financial game and know how to talk to your teen when it comes to finances, hit me up, because I'm really zoning in on that project, and I'm probably going to do a beta group with individuals that can kind of help get the process rolling. So definitely reach out on that front. Other than that, one of the areas that my heart really beats for is just really helping people get over their emotional quarrels, because a lot of people out there hurting right now, and they feel like they ain't got nobody to talk to. My academic background has trained me to help you open up your vulnerabilities, and we can process through a lot of those trials, so you don't have to let that hold you back no more. And I've had a pretty good success rate in that space, but you gotta be willing to do the work, because it ain't easy.
Right. That's what it is, man. We out here, y'all see how to contact them, and we're gonna continue to push this stuff, and we definitely gonna network, buddy. You know what I mean? We go way back, man. So it's a privilege to have you on this platform, man, talking this good game to the people, man. You know what I'm talking about? So big shout out to everybody that's tuning in, that tunes in, and that watches Salute the Grind, man. And again, y'all follow Brian A. Street, B Street. Y'all make sure y'all check it out. You know what I mean? And that's how we're gonna do it. So before I say anything else, I salute your grind, brother. Educational, what you're bringing back to the community, all that, brother. You know what I mean? We appreciate it, and we need more people like you, man.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the platform. Keep what you're doing.